Manchester United have just put in arguably their best performance, their best team performance of the season so far under Michael Carrick, and they have just gone 3 points clear of both Chelsea and Liverpool. And I'm going to make a big shout right now. I honestly believe they actually could finish third. Aston Villa have dropped form in recent weeks and gone a bit up and down, a bit roller coaster. But Man United under Carrick have looked consistent. They've beaten big teams like Manchester City and Arsenal, and they've just put in a defensive, resolute performance away at Everton, where those three signings, Cunha, Sesko, Brian Mbeumo, all heavily involved in the goal. And I'm going to say this now, and I said this earlier on the Football Terrace. I did predict a 1-0 win on there as well, and not to say I got it right, but I did get it right. They need to be stopped. I said this earlier. If Manchester United get in the top 4, the top 5, and get Champions League football like it looks like they're going to do, and they bring in that extra revenue, which we already know they're one of the highest revenue streams in terms of how much revenue they bring in the Premier League. But you add that additional Champions League revenue, and you look at some of the players they have signed in the last 2 years. Patrick Dorgu, who went through that stint before his injury, who is a fantastic signing. Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, Sesko, the new goalkeeper, Lammens, or is it Lammens? I think his name is, made 2 or 3 really good saves, claiming from the crosses every single time Everton had a set piece. They had put 5 or 6 bodies around him. Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro tonight, both very good. And that narrative of Man United are poor defensively when they had Ruben Amorim, they brought in Carrick, they've gone to a back 4 that's very aggressive, both in possession, but can play a mid-block and a low block that can defend from set pieces, and they play for each other. Luke Shaw and Dalot now look like a very good full-back pairing with decent coaching. You've got centre-back options like Martinez, who did pick up a calf injury. You've also got Harry Maguire, Yoro, Haven come off the bench as well. I honestly believe United, with a decent summer window, finishing inside the top 4, they can be a threat next year. Believe me when I say that. They can be a threat. Let me know your thoughts down below. Follow all the socials. Go over to TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you go down, smash that like button to pieces as well, and go down and hit that subscribe button. We are less than 50 subscribers away from hitting 89,000. Massive weekend of football, but that win is huge for United. It's absolutely monumental. We'll bring up the league table now, and then we'll get into the performance. We'll get into the goals. If you haven't watched the goal, go and watch it. It's a very aesthetically pleasing goal. When you look at that right now, United, as you can see, Crystal Palace up next, right? That is another very winnable game for Manchester United. And I do fancy them to win a lot of their games coming up. They do actually play Aston Villa. And now they are outright the 3rd highest scorer in the league, joint with Chelsea. They've got a plus 11 goal difference, which is the 4th best in the league, behind the 2 above them and Chelsea. And they're now 3 points clear over both Chelsea and Liverpool, who are both still in the FA Cup and both still in the Champions League. I think they are well on track right now to go and finish inside this top 5. You look at the lineup they played today, it was probably, other than maybe Martinez being out injured and maybe De Ligt and Dorgu, you could maybe argue, it was a very good lineup from them. This was their lineup. We'll start with Everton. Garner, normally midfielder, slotted in at right back. Tarkowski, Keane, and Branthwaite. I think it was Branthwaite's 4th start of the season, or 5th start of the season. Pickford, who made a couple of good saves. Is it Ingrabenham? I've probably butchered that name. Idrissa Gueye, Armstrong, Dewsbury Hall, Ndiaye, and Barry. And of course, Beto on the bench. No Jack Grealish. Man United, Lammens, Shaw, Maguire, Yoro, Dalot. I thought they all played really well. I thought Casemiro had a fantastic game defensively, broke up play a lot. Mainu, Cunha, I thought was very good. Bruno Fernandes, Amad, who got subbed off early, but it was the right change from Michael Carrick, because Benjamin Sesko was the one who come on, and he has now got 8 goals this season for Manchester United, and he has to be now, surely he has to be knocking on the door for a start. Brian Mbeumo got another assist this season, and he has got, he has been arguably the signing of the season so far. 9 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League in 22 starts, 10 goals this season for Manchester United. Got an assist against Everton, an assist against West Ham, a goal against us, nothing against Fulham, a goal against Arsenal, which was pounced on that Saliba mistake, and a goal against Manchester City. Right now, Man United seem to be doing all the right things. Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro today were both very, 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 very good. The goal comes on the 70th minute. Cunha wins the ball back, plays an unbelievable diagonal 50-yard pass straight into Brian Mbeumo's path, who then runs. His brand fakes on him. He lays it back into Sesko. First time finish, and it's in the back of the net. And I believe Benjamin Sesko right now, the guy is on fire. You know, scored against West Ham, scored against Fulham, scored against Brighton, scored today against Everton. And when you look at the guy's minutes, you know, he's barely playing. Like, he's coming off the bench. He's a very much impact sub right now. You look at his minutes, 32 today, 21 against West Ham, 15 against Spurs, 16 against Fulham, 9 against Arsenal, didn't play against Man City, come off the bench against Brighton, scored, come off the bench, started in the game against Burnley, got 2 goals, started against Leeds, wasn't really hugely involved in starting against Leeds, but he has got gradually better the last 3 or so games. And I believe, you know, Man United fans should be giving him huge praise for the work he's done in recent weeks. And when you look at Man United's recent results, I think they've only lost 1 of their last 10 games. We'll get into their fixtures shortly, but of course, you know, that's 2 clean sheets in the last 3 games, 1 against us, 1 against Everton. You know, played a 1-1 draw against West Ham, drew with Bournemouth, lost to Villa, beat Newcastle, drew with Wolves, drew with Leeds, drew with Burnley, lost to Brighton. Since Carrick has come in, beat City of a clean sheet, beat Arsenal, beat Fulham. Then they go on to beat us, drew with West Ham, and they just beat Everton. And look, they have got a very tough run of fixtures coming their way. I do think they'll beat Crystal Palace, and I do actually believe they will beat Newcastle. And if they win their next 2 games, you know, Matey Boy might finally be getting his haircut. But there's big games in there against Chelsea and against Aston Villa. And when you look at Aston Villa's recent results, as I said, it's very, very, very up and down. You know, they drew against Leeds at the weekend. They lost to Newcastle in the FA Cup. They beat Brighton, but they lost to Brentford, and they drew with Bournemouth. Man United look like they've got a bit of consistency coming their way now based on the recent results. They are playing on Sunday, which is 6 days' time. Hopefully the injury to Brian Mbeumo for his sake isn't actually too bad. But all of a sudden, Michael Carrick deserves huge praise. You need these sort of performances. You're not going to blitz everyone all the time. Today, it was all about a number of things. It was about going in there, getting the 3 points, coming away with a clean sheet, showing teams that you can play different ways as well. Whenever an Arsenal or a City play this way, they get criticised for being Stoke City. Man United have proven in recent weeks they can go toe-to-toe with anyone because they've beaten City and they've beaten Arsenal. And they've also beaten us. You know, on the balance of things, it was probably a decent point against West Ham. You know, Benjamin Sesko equalised in that game as well. Michael Carrick has rejuvenated this Man United squad, and now they look right now that they're playing with confidence. They're all playing for the manager. And it's they lost the other fixture to this game, the reverse fixture at Old Trafford 1-0 from a Dewsbury Hall goal, and they responded in the perfect way by going to the Hill Dickinson Stadium and coming away with a win. And I do fancy Man United to go and beat Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, of course, with Mateta, Lerma, Lacroix, Nketiah, Decore, a number of players missing. And when you look at who Liverpool are going to have to play at the weekend, so Chelsea have got to play Arsenal, which you imagine Arsenal will probably win that because it's at the Emirates. And Liverpool have to play a West Ham team right now that are in decent form. You know, West Ham at the moment have proven in recent weeks that they are, all together. They narrowly lost to Chelsea. They drew this Man United team. They beat Burton and Burnley in the cup. They drew with Bournemouth. They beat us before that. They also beat Sunderland. They beat QPR in the cup. So West Ham are hopefully going to go down. But at this moment in time, they do look a side that they're fighting, aren't they? But Man United, who knows? Man United should go and beat Crystal Palace. And who knows, the Liverpool game, maybe they get something out of that. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Chelsea or Liverpool will get Champions League over this Man United team? When you look back again at the Premier League table, you know, with Aston Villa right now, there's 3 points between them. You know, Man United are only 8 points off of City. I'm not saying that Man United are going to go and challenge for the league or anything or finish second. But as it stands, they are in a very, very good position. You know, they're 8 points clear of Brentford now. So providing they win the next couple of games, they will pretty much be guaranteed a European place, which at minimum will be Conference League, or 7th. Will probably get Conference League again this season. But as it stands, you know, for Everton, it's only 1 win in their last 5. They have had a difficult run of games. They've got to play Newcastle up next, which isn't going to be an easy game by any stretch. But as it stands, I do think United are playing well, and I think they deserve huge praise. They need to be stopped, because if you bring in Champions League revenue, Man United are going to dominate. Trust me on that. If they get the right players in with this additional revenue, they are going to be a hell of a threat next year. I honestly believe that. Make sure you go down, drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow all the socials, and I'll see you all soon. I'm out.